The third pillar is winners are objectively better than losers. Meaningfulness begins dividing the players in two broad categories, the winners and the losers. However, the winners and loser categories are not all black and white. The football ratings is more like a curve more than anything, an exponential curve in particular. Winning, if you graph it, the lower trophy winners are a lot closer to the zero or even to the losers than they would be to the top trophy winners. And as you progress above it, you get, an exponential curve, and that really could map out how the winners are viewed in Trophy Logic. Because the widely held misconception is that if you're a winner, regardless if you just did really nothing in that win, you're going to be regarded as so much better or you're on par even with big names. But that's not the case. Despite this, the two categories exist because logically no winner can be better than any losers and vice versa. But here's a point of contention between Trophy Logic and traditional mainstream media. It's what is good, because if you're graphing winners and losers, you're obviously saying, well, the winners are good and the losers are not. But the definitions are different. As we see with meaningfulness, there is a view of good in football, and usually those who do not adhere to Trophy Logic, they refer to a player being good as ability, this term ability, or you can even say individual ability. It's unclear what that really refers to. It's not tied down to a specific definition, but generally it refers to actions on the pitch, whether it be a striker scoring a goal, a midfielder assisting, defender defending, goalkeeper save, whatever. Trophy Logic says that a player is good if they do their job being winning trophies. And I'll provide an analogy to make sense of this. There's two workers at a newspaper company, employee A and employee B. Employee A wrote a lengthy, well-written, well-researched article to be submitted and to be published into the paper. Employee B wrote a short, somewhat dry and boring article. However, employee A failed to submit his article to the editor, while employee B actually submitted his on time. And of course, since employee B actually submitted it, it was published and it was in the newspaper. Although employee A's effort was objectively probably more impressive, it wasn't meaningful at all. It didn't make the paper. He didn't do his job. Employee B, however, was not that impressive, but he actually did what he was hired to do. See, that's another concept that is important. The understanding the distinctions between Trophy Logic and what the traditional mainstream view of football rating is. You can be impressive without being meaningful. You could have a really good season in terms of goal scoring, in terms of the individual ability on the pitch. But if that does not contribute to a trophy, it doesn't matter. It's not meaningful. It meant nothing at all. And the same is true vice versa. You could have a really unimpressive season, really not perform well objectively, but the few actions or contributions you did to the team to a trophy win, that meant something and you actually contributed to something. You did your job. You did what you were hired to do. And that is the distinction that in this pillar of Trophy Logic makes. See, if you never contributed at all, you never did your job, you are going to be placed in the losers. If you did your job at least once, you'd be placed in the winners category, but of course other factors come in mind. See, Trophy Logic, unlike the misconceptionalized version of it, it's not just, oh, they won a trophy, they're good. Trophy Logic actually takes a holistic view of the player. I would divide the winners graph in Trophy Logic, if we were to map them out, into several categories, but I'll highlight 4 broad categories. The low trophy winner, to which probably have won maybe a trophy once, maybe 2 times. A mid trophy winner who have won its trophies, several times, but not many. World-class players who are recognized amongst the best in their position, have won multiple trophies. Then legendary winners would be considered the best players of the positions for all times. But unlike the misconceptualized version of Trophy Logic, it's not down to just how many trophies they have won. There's many factors involved in placing someone in that graph. See, there's other factors such as minutes, impact made, as we discussed, whether it be goals, tackles, saves, whatever, depending on your position you're in, how you measure that. What stage of the competition did they play? But you get the point. It's not the same as playing the whole competition into playing just a small section in an earlier, easier stage of the competition. All those factors combine and place a player on that winner's curve, you could say, the exponential curve. It's not just down to trophies and the number of trophies, even actually more importantly, the weight of the trophies. The player who wins 5 Champions Leagues not the same as winning 5 CONCACAF Champions Leagues. And unlike the winners category, those in the losers categories, as I said before, they're rated equally. And the reasons for that is that in Trophy Logic's view, those losers never have done their job as a footballer. It is a great mistake the football rating system in modern day to rank losers against winners, because if you think about it, if they've done nothing at all, nothing cannot be ranked above nothing. You're saying that you're placing 0 over 0, and it doesn't make sense.